everybody, and welcome back to CTVSA. In studio today we have Nicolette Mashile, who is one of the actors on Generations The Legacy. Hello Nicolette.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, you?
I'm good, thank you.
So please, before we get into more detail, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Nicolette. My surname is Mashile. I'm now 28 years old, so I'm very old. Very old. I should be having babies now, but you know, that's a story for another day. I come from a little town in Mpumalanga called Bushbuck Ridge. I come from a family of, I think we are 7. I've got, so it's my 3 sisters, myself, my mom, my dad, and my brother. So yes, we are 7. My sisters are all old now. So we've got, my youngest sibling is now, I think, in grade 9. So she's 14. I came to Joburg in 2010, coming from Rhodes University. So I was in Grahamstown doing my degree in politics and law, which I failed, by the way, but I realized then that it was not the end of the world. And I came to Johannesburg to pursue sports management, and then after sports management I was like, I'm not done with school. I went back to do communications and advertising. Then again I was like, I'm not done with school, and now I'm currently studying business. I call myself a social entrepreneur, if that makes any sense to you and your viewers. Basically, I do business that answers social calls, and hence why I'm in the financial literacy space. My dream is to have a society one day that understands money, that has a relationship with money, and people can make wise decisions. And I am also into property, so that's buying houses and renting them out to people.
Wow. Yeah. You got a lot on your plate.
Oh, and I'm now on Generations. I'm Cynthia on Generations. And also I host a talk show called Assertiveness on Khal TV.
Wow.
Oh, I'm on radio too. But that's another story.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Selling yourself out, but okay.
So I'm like you. We do quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember the type of child you were in primary school and in high school?
Yes, I was loud. And I think I still am. Nothing has changed.
Nothing.
Yeah, so I was very loud. My mom and friends called me very sassy. I loved being the center of attention. At all family functions. I wanted to recite a poem, or in church I wanted to be a one reading the Bible, because I used to do dramatized reading and poetry. So I would read all my verses, and I thought that, if I read them the way I read them, they connected me closer to God. So I used to read them with actions. That's the type of child I was. I used to sell things to people. So I started running businesses very early. I think I was somewhat of a leader. I mean, in both high school and primary school, I ended up in leadership positions. So I wanted people to feel like I could lead them, and I had a vision, and I could take them somewhere.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Very powerful child.
I definitely was.
So have you always had that knack for entrepreneurship? Like, were you always at it? Were you always good at it?
No. I don't think there's anybody in the world who's good at entrepreneurship. I always tell people that I don't know what I'm doing half of the time. So I'm swinging it all the time. Literally, I'm taking every single day as it comes. But I think the beauty of entrepreneurship is that you get an opportunity to learn. So every single thing that you do in entrepreneurship is a lesson in it. And we live in a lovely country where some entrepreneurs who've made it really big are willing to speak to the smaller guys. So they speak to us, and they teach us. So basically, for me, entrepreneurship was something that I kind of fell into. Yes, my father's an entrepreneur. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My grandmother sells stuff. We won't talk about what she sells, but she sells stuff. So entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. I've always loved it. I love the thrill that comes with entrepreneurship, and also being able to respond to people's issues, and I like the making money side of it. Trust me, I do.
So are you good at entrepreneurship?
I'm good at everything I do. Okay. I take pride in literally turning everything into gold. I believe that you must give it your all in everything that you do. So, and if you do not believe that you're the best, you can't be the best, and nobody else can call you the best. So you need to be the one who first anchors this thing and champions it and says, you know, Stacey is the best at this presenting thing. Stacey is the best at arts and culture. Stacey is the best basically at everything. The moment you start telling yourself that and internalizing it, everybody else is going to believe it, and your work will always be the best.
Thank you for that.
Awesome.
Are you listening? Yeah, you bet you are. Anyway, so what encouraged you to start your own business?
I got frustrated. I got frustrated with the mere fact that there aren't enough people doing what I'm doing. So my business does brand activations and media buying. Basically, because I'm a communicator also, hence why my business is also in communications, I felt like the smaller, you know, in South Africa, we've got urban areas, and then we've got locations, and then we've got the villages.
Yes.
Now, the villages are full of people. But what happens is that the villages, because of technological restrictions, they might not have access to big radio stations, big TV stations, so they don't have anybody who takes information out to them. So my job is literally to connect those people with everything else that's happening in South Africa. So hence why I work in the community media space, so community radio, community TV, and I try and make sure that the guys who are sending out information use those platforms to speak to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who sponsored you? Who sponsored your education, or did you sponsor yourself?
No, luckily I'm one of the few that my parents were able to send me to school. Yes. Even after I failed my degree, my father was still championing my life, and he was saying, you know what, for the mere fact that you got up and you didn't give up, we are happy to still finance your education. And unfortunately, it's not everybody who's in that situation, right? I mean, in this country, we've got a crisis of fees must fall, which basically is that people don't know how they're going to end up in school because they don't have any way how to pay their school fees. So I am one of the lucky people, and I really do appreciate it, and I say thank you to my parents, and I hope that everybody else whose parents are paying for their school fees is very grateful, because you know our parents, and I always tell people, and you're going to be a parent one day, I hope, right? Parents always make miracles happen. Because their school is really expensive, and if your parents can still keep you in school, you must really be grateful.
Okay, thank you.
So they say thank you to your parents.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. So do you think that starting your own business and helping others is like basically paying off what your parents paid for you to learn?
I think because we live in a society where we are all interconnected, somehow we're all connected. And if I look at my life from when my struggles and how I ended up accomplishing or getting over those hurdles was through other people helping me. Nobody ever abandoned me when I was in situations that I could not get myself out of. And purely because of that, I think that it is important that we pay back to whoever. Sometimes it might not be direct, as you say, it might not be to my parents, but to the broader society, and share whatever it is that you've got. I mean, and the difficult thing that people don't understand is that sharing doesn't necessarily mean now every time I cook a meal I must now remember that there's another person sitting and then I must give them a plate also. It just means that the little that you have, be able to go out there and share it with people. And it really, charity begins at home. Yes. So, and I don't believe that there are parents who are not teaching their children to be able to pay back to society. So go out there and practice what you get taught at home.
Thank you. I will practice.
Please do.
Practice.
All the time.
Okay. So tell us about your role in Generations The Legacy, and did you always have that passion for acting?
Well, the people that I grew up with will tell you that I've always been an actress. My sister's like, oh, Nicolette, as a child, you were the biggest liar in the world. And I'm like, no, I wasn't a liar. I just twisted the truth a little bit and, made it very different. So a lot of people will tell me that we always foresaw you going onto TV and becoming an actress. I personally, to be honest, I've never always seen myself as an actress. I've wanted to be in front of the camera. Yes. I've wanted to be a presenter, a talk show host. So the opportunity to be on Generation actually took me by surprise. Yes. I had signed up with this new agent, and she sent me for my first audition ever for acting. I went in there and they gave me the script. I memorized the script, walked in there, so proud of myself, did this script, and the lady was like, you're not really an actress. I was so disappointed. I went home and I was like, you know what? It's my first audition. I mean, really, it's not the end of the world. The next week, I get a call from them and they're like, listen, we would like you to come and try out for Cynthia. I go in there, I do my thing, and they literally, as I'm standing there auditioning, she says to me, you've got the role. I could not believe it. Wow. Do you know how many people watch Generations?
No.
8 million. 8 million. And do you know what's even more perfect about Generations is the mere fact that what it's done is that it's given the people from where I come from. So I come from Bushbuckridge, as I said, and people in Bushbuckridge, and a high percentage of them never really leave Bushbuckridge. So Joburg looks like this big world to them. So being able to see somebody that they grew up with and somebody they know on TV acting next to Connie Ferguson, well, she's Karabo, but you know, for them it's like, oh my gosh, this thing is possible. So I think that's a beautiful thing about Generation. So I am Cynthia, and when I got the role, it was art mimicking real life, because remember, Cynthia works at Eswemi and I used to work in an advertising agency. So basically my life was mimicking the art, so it was great.
So what did your parents say about this whole acting thing?
My dad was like, it's not gonna make you money. That's the first thing he said to me. He says, you're going to be poor, we're going to have to bury you. Oh my God. And I said to him, relax, there's other things that I'm doing. And the one thing he said to me is, please don't embarrass me on TV, on national TV. There's 8 million people watching. So I was like, wow, so much pressure. So yeah, but I mean, you know what parents, can I tell you a secret about parents?
Yes. Parents
will always tell you not to do things, but they secretly are proud of you. And they tell other parents, they're like, oh, did you see
brag about it?
Yes. So I believe that my parents brag about me being on Generations. My mom loves it because everybody at home stops her in the road and says, oh, we saw your child on TV.
Wow.
It's a lot.
I'm so jealous right now, but okay.
Don't worry, darling. It's coming. It's coming, I promise you. You've got a bright future.
So what advice do you have for children who want to be entrepreneurs when they grow up?
Woo! I am actually very excited that you asked me that question, because I'm planning a huge competition for young entrepreneurs where they're going to have an opportunity to enter. They're going to be actually given businesses to run themselves. They're going to be given a certain amount of money to start this business and run it, and then at the end of the year we're going to check which business has been run effectively, who's learned the most lessons. There will be lessons that they can attend to learn, and then be allocated business mentors who will teach them about business. So I'm very excited about that. But my advice to anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur, whether young, especially young or old, you need to start. That's the magical word. Start. Whether you've got the idea on paper and it sounds great or not, just start. Because let me tell you, the biggest stumbling block to entrepreneurship, it's fear. People are afraid to start. People think that they're going to fail. People start saying, what if? What if this doesn't work? What if they don't like my product? What if they don't like my services? Come on. We have probably the laziest society in this country. They will love anything. You say to them, I'm going to wash your tackies, they will love it. You say to them, you know what, I'm going to pick up your groceries at the end of the month, they will love it. You can even shop for people. They'll pay you to shop for them. How crazy is that? So, I mean, exams, you guys write exams?
Yes.
Some kids come with no pens. You can sell them pens, rulers, calculators, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's many things that you can do. So I always say to entrepreneurs, start, and if you're young, start early. I'm actually writing a South African children's guide to South African business, and you're going to be the first one to get it.
Thank you.
I promise you.
So guys, ready, set, and go. Start your own business and become an entrepreneur. So questions are, from what age to what age is a competition for?
So we haven't worked out the mechanisms yet, because
yes,
this country has so many rules, and we have to abide by rules. So we're still trying to work out which age group we're going to focus on. And remember, the first step of it is going to be proof of concept. So basically, this is when you prove that the concept actually works to certain people, so that they can give you a certain amount of money for you to run with the project. So because of that, we're going to do the small test group, and then we'll see how it flourishes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Wow. Okay, so do you have any do's and don'ts you'd like to share with our viewers
in regards to entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Okay, first and foremost, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of your dreams, of whatever you're thinking. Do believe in your dreams. do believe that your idea will work. I've got a lot of, I'm a very optimistic person, so I don't have a lot of don'ts. Because I feel like rules are meant to be broken, but don't say that. So rules are like, there are some rules that you can, break and then apologize afterwards. Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. I do believe that, surround yourself with the right people, speak to people, ask those questions. Be that child that asks questions.
Yes.
Those, they call them the terrible twos. So do you have siblings? Do you have younger siblings?
Yes.
Did you go, how old are they?
It's 8 and 5.
So the 5-year-old, I'm sure when is it a girl or boy?
Boy.
A boy. When he was 2, he was asking all these questions. Why?
Yes.
Why?
And he was always like, why not?
Why not? Exactly. Have that enthusiasm of a 5-year-old. So when it comes to business, ask why. Ask why not. When they say to us, oh, we need to make sure that we've got enough cash flow, say why. You know what I mean? Why must you have cash flow? When they say we need to do marketing, why? And they say we can't do this, why not? So I think for me, those are the biggest do's, is ask enough questions, have the enthusiasm of a 5-year-old.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I've learned a lot, and yes, I can't wait to meet up with you and get your book. Guys, please buy the book and please contribute and give money. Do you accept sponsors?
Well, I accept partners. I don't like calling them sponsors, because the moment they sponsor, then they think they own you. So when they are partners, they've got equal contribution and equal success.
Thank you, Auntie Nicolette, for coming on this show. And don't forget, guys, you watching CTVSA. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website is www.ctvsa for more. Please don't forget to subscribe and buy the book and contribute to this wonderful, wonderful organization. Thank you very much.